Fancy just went back-to-back, winning the last two MCS Madden 25 tournaments, netting him $100,000. Now, he was able to win these two tournaments largely in part to his unstoppable offense, and in today's video, I'm going to break down exactly how he runs his offense to dominate his opponents. Let's get into it now. YouTube, what is up? It is your boy Duke, back here from sportsgamers.com. Today we're going to look at Fancy's offense. Now we're going to get straight into it. Fancy was running the Detroit Lions offensive playbook, namely two formations in the gun bunch X nasty, and then also the gun trips tight end flex. These are two of the formations in Madden 25 that are, in my opinion, absolutely unstoppable passing. This is actually the same offense I run. I run some different setups, but Fancy had a very good offense. Now, his audibles for the trip side and flex, this is actually the main formation he was in, were going to be the HB angle verticals, tight end in, and motion wide post. Now, he has some very unique setups I'm going to go over in this video. With that said, though, he was coming out in the bunch X nasty every time. Now, I want to go over how dominant Fancy was in this gun, trip, side, and flex. This was the main formation he ran, but the thing is, he actually came out in this gun, bunch X nasty. Now, you might be wondering, if he was going to audible over to the tray Y flex, or whatever, the trip, side, and flex, whatever you want to call it, why did he do this? Well, the reason why is because this bunch X nasty actually has some of the best passing plays in the game, with this auto motion in particular, that really make the defense have to respect it. You come out in this gun bunch X nasty, the defense is already going to be setting up for these auto motion plays. They know they have to defend. Now the key here is he was using Metcalf. They weren't allowed to use Brian Thomas, but Metcalf was the dominant player here. Now you're really looking for speed on offense, of course, but height is honestly, in my opinion, even more important than speed this year. So, honestly, make sure that if you can, you get all of your receivers tall and fast. Honestly, I'm going to replace Tyreek Hill. Even though he's fast, he's just too short. So, you can come out in this bunch X nasty, and the trip, side, and flex audible is about 2 to 3 clicks to the right. And the play I want to focus on in this specific video breakdown is going to be tight end in. Now, tight end in is a very, very unique play. It's probably one of the, I would say, more unique plays because a lot of people sleep on it. They don't realize how good it is. And the biggest reason this play is so good is this unique wheel route to the running back. Now, this is not a route you're going to find in many plays. You can't hot route it, but it literally beats just about every defense in the game. You also have a very unique seam streak angled to the inside that's good for, attacking the seams, as is very good this year. So, I want to show you guys a few different ways he was running this. Now, if you want this full Detroit Lions offensive game plan breakdown, make sure to check out sportsgamers.com. My VIP membership has access to this game plan for the Lions offense. Everything else on the site for Madden 25 content, you get 7 to 8 full offensive and defensive game plans, weekly tips. Link is pinned in the comments as well in the description to check this out. So the setup we're going to do here is very simple. First of all, you need to make sure that you have your trip side of the formation on the wide side of the field. Here we're closer to the right hash, so that means the left is the wide side. The trip is going to be over there. Now, the first thing you want to do, and the most important thing, is you want to flat this tight end. This is going to pull any sort of flat zones to the sideline, which is what really makes this route to the running back so good. You're then going to post your inside receiver, which is Tyreek Hill. You're going to put your outside receiver on a drag. So let's just check out how this play works. You guys can see here, we're going up against a cover 4 look. And it honestly doesn't matter what zone you're in. You're going to notice that this route is killer. So you guys can see here, we have our deep zones, of course. They're dropping deep. The flat is actually pulled by the tight end. And then this wheel route just does a really good job of getting the soft spot. Now, if you use Gunslinger, be careful. You can't throw this right away because it might get overthrown. So you actually want to wait till it cuts up about 5 to 10 yards. Easy possession catch, dot. Now, I'm going to show you guys a few different reads on this play because this is not the only thing, but just be aware, this will be pretty much every zone in the game. The most consistent way to stop this, other than using it, is to play man. But as we all know, there's so many easy ways to play man. You can't just man up a good offensive player. They'll kill you. So as I mentioned, there's plenty of more reads on this play, specifically over the middle of the field. You're going to see that we can hit the drag, potentially the post, even the seam streak, depending upon adjustments. Especially if their user is going to go run to the running back out of the backfield. That's going to leave the post open. You can imagine right here, if this is their user, imagine him running to the running back, the post will be wide open. That's why we have it there in case they want to use the running back. And then we have the streak, which will attack the seams, especially if they don't have the safeties in the box, which will also push any hook zones back. Then we have the drag finally coming underneath, which is kind of the last read that I hit here. But really what you want to abuse is the running back over and over and over again to make the user go guard that, which at that point then you can throw the post quickly over the middle of the field. But if they don't go and guard it, I mean, this is literally an every down thing. So that was cover 4. I do want to show this play against a few different defenses just so you guys can see like how good it really is. It really doesn't matter what they're running. This is going to get open. Let's go ahead and actually run this 4-3 even, which is it's actually becoming pretty meta. We'll do actually a cover 3. The 4-3 even is becoming a pretty meta defense, especially after the patch. A lot of people are struggling to get pressure. The 4-3 even is one of the best formations in the game to get pressure. So you guys can see here again, you know, a little bit of a tighter window that time, but we were easily still able to click on and get a possession catch. So right here, you guys can see they actually did have it kind of like honestly bracketed, but still, this is why this play is so good. You're easily able to, you know, get that in there. Now I want to look at the defense on baseline. I had it on the fault, but I did set it to baseline here so you can see that this still works the same. Now, important to note, another thing about this play is that if they're in like a nickel formation or whatever with a nickel back, when you come out and bunch nasty, the nickel will be on the bunch side. When you audible the trips is on the opposite side of the field. So now the defense is going to be misaligned. So unless they flip their play with you and redo their adjustments, now the defense is completely out of position, which is another thing that I really like about this audible and this offense is it really makes it hard to adjust your defense because when you go from bunch, the strong side is on the right. When you go to trips, it's on the left, right? So now they're out of position. And again here, you guys can see on baseline, the defense is even more spread out, which you might think would be better, but it's actually worse because now the opening in the seam is like even better. Now, I've basically had my zone drops off. You might wonder, well, what if someone set zone drops? You know, we'll go ahead and set some zone drops. And you'll see that, you know, that really doesn't do anything. We're still going to have that same opening. And honestly, like when you turn zone drops on, it negates any sort of matching that you have going on, which is, for this play, going to make it even better and easier for us to attack. As you guys can see, this is literally all day long. Now, I want you guys to look at the replay again. I haven't really gone over the other reads too much yet because I wanted to show you how dominant this is. But as you guys can see here, I mean, I could throw the seam. The seam is open. And then, you know, it's just a high-low with the post and the drag. In this case, the drag was more open. They kind of ran with the post downfield. All right, so you're probably wondering about a blitz. This is not a good play to blitz just because you have so many quick reads. But I'm going to go ahead and run the DB Fire. That's a cover 2 blitz. We haven't really looked at cover 2 yet. And DB Fire from the dollar, or the dime 3-2, I should say, is still a pretty popular defense. You know, people love mixing this in when they're in the dime 3-2 with, like, you know, the Willie and edge blitz stuff. Still very, very good defense. But you'll see that this play absolutely shreds this because they're just, you know, when they're blitzing, you're sending, you know, 4 or 5 guys. Now, you know, we have even more openings. So, like, right here, you guys can see that this flat zone was open. Now, here, this hook zone actually guarded the running back. Imagine that's the user. Well, yes, he's kind of covering him. I could throw to the flat, but what I really had was the middle of the field because if you're going to take your user out of the middle to go guard the running back, that means that there's really probably only one guy over the middle, and he has to choose, is he going to guard the post or is he going to guard the drag? He actually went with the post, so I threw the drag. Now, when you're running this play, like I said, make sure to read the flat, though, because if they don't guard the flat, you know, you got to at least make them respect that. A lot of people might try to just stop guarding the flats and put hook zones out there if they see you're running this play. If you see that, you can just quickly throw to the flat, and you guys see, like, I got about 10 yards, absolutely doing nothing there. There's a lot you can do. And again, full breakdown, if you want it, sportsgamers.com. Link is in the description to the VIP membership. Until next time, it's your boy Duke, and I'm out of here.